Alright, what's up folks? Rich Van Tassel back with you, giving you the recap of the Sunday night game. Oakland with the 27-24 victory over the Miami Dolphins. Oakland improves to 4-5. Miami drops to 4-4. Derek Carr, 21 of 30, 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They ran the ball pretty well in this game. The Raiders did. Marshawn Lynch, 14 of 57, 4.1. 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Washington, 4 of 16, 4 yards per rush. No touchdowns. Jalen Richard, 5 of 14, 2.8. The team, 27 of 84, only 3.1 yards per rush, but that does include Derek Carr, 4 carries for -3 yards, so you take that off. That's 23 of 87. That's still below the 4 yards per carry mark. But Marshawn Lynch, DeAndre Washington, between those two guys, they did pretty well. Jalen Richard brought those numbers down in the kneel downs. So all in all, effective considering Marshawn Lynch has not really had it all together this season, and he came off a suspension. Jared Cook, 8 receptions, 126 yards, the longest of only 35, so he was pretty consistent. Amari Cooper, 4 of 58. Johnny Holton, 1 of 44. He had the touchdown. Michael Crabtree, 3 of 40. TJ Carey had a fumble, recovered a fumble. Derek Carr fumbled twice, did not lose any of them. Marshall Newhouse lost a fumble, I don't really know, and recovered a fumble, so he picked one up and fumbled it. Jalen Richard recovered a fumble. 1 sack, it was split between Mario Edwards and Bruce Irvin. No interceptions. Cordero Patterson, 2 kick returns, 61 yards. That's a 30.5 yard average, longest of 35. So the other one was 26. So those are pretty good returns. Jalen Richard, 2 punt returns, 21 yards. Giorgio Tavecchio, 2 for 2 in his field goals. For the Dolphins, Jay Cutler, 34 of 42, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Not surprising he would have those numbers because we discussed in the preview the injuries to the secondary of the Oakland Raiders, missing 3 guys. Kenyon Drake, 9 carries, 69 yards, 7.7 yards per rush. Damian Williams, 7 for 14. Marquise Gray, 1 of 3, so the team 18 of 86, 4.8 yards per rush. I'm really confused as to how Miami lost this game. They did have a lot of penalty yards. Charles Harris recovered a fumble. Kenyon Drake lost a fumble. Mike Pouncey recovered a fumble. Jay Cutler recovered a fumble. So both teams lost a fumble. No interception, Miami did have an interception. They had one sack, and Ndamukong Suh. It was a split sack for the Oakland Raiders, so 1 sack there. I mean, I'm guessing penalties were the only difference because you look at the numbers, and it's hard to understand how Miami lost. Jakeem Grant, 2 kick returns, 47, fairly even in the kick returns. I mean, a little better for Oakland, but none of them were a touchdown. Jakeem Grant, 1 punt return for 5 yards. Cody Parkey, 1 for 1 in his field goals. So, again, looking at this one, it's just a situation with the Miami Dolphins. You got to wonder with this team at sometimes. How do you lose this game at home where you play? I mean, it's not like you played spectacularly, don't get me wrong, but you were certainly well enough. I mean, time of possession was almost 2 minutes better for the Oakland Raiders. That's it. Third downs we're looking at. 8 of 15 to 5 of 12. So, fairly equal in that regard. I mean, Oakland did convert 3 more, had 3 more opportunities to do so. It's just confusing, and that's, what you get with the Miami Dolphins. This is a team that's just not ready to take it to the next level. You have a team coming cross country. I know it was a night game, so that didn't really affect them in that regard, but you had your quarterback outplay their quarterback. You ran the ball a bit better. Not, substantially better, but certainly, a noticeable difference better. You had the same amount of turnovers, and you don't get the victory. Give the Oakland Raiders credit. Can they still get the division? Certainly the Chiefs sputtering and losing today opens the door just a little bit. They'll have to really start to make a rally, getting things together, finally getting that running game going, getting Derek Carr back in the rhythm with the injuries. So there's all those things. Let's see. Oakland is a quality team. They had some defensive injuries, but they have a pretty good defense. So you just got to see Oakland, it's, just more consistency. They really haven't been able to put it all together because they've either been missing guys or things just, the schedule just the way it worked, and that's something. So let's see if Oakland can find finally start to get healthy, finally start to develop, and finally start to move forward there. All right, we'll give you the weekly NBA report tomorrow morning. Be sure to stay tuned for that. And remember, we appreciate all subscriptions as always. Thank you all so much. Have a good one.